right there in Finland, where nobody is seeing, nobody is watching, nobody understands what is actually going on there. But I can tell you from every source that judgment is about to be pronounced on the 1st of September 2025. Simon Iba will be set free completely from what we are hearing. And there has been an underground, negotiation has been going on from different organizations and different people. I also reported that there were some influx of serious international lawyers, who also came to support the process. But the judgment so far, from what we are gathering from intelligence sources, are showing that Samuel Ekpa is likely going to surprise millions of people around the world, and that the Finnish government has decided to do the needful. And what is the needful? If you look at how they came up with so many charges against Simon Ekpa, which they later actually dropped, and the last court appearance, according to Simon Ekpa's lawyer, Gumerus, he made it very clearly that Nigeria has no evidence whatever to present or even try Simon Ekpa in court. Forget whatever people are saying. The Biafran government in exile has taken it upon them to an extent that the convictions of no trial has already been negotiated. And what we are hoping, as we continue to brief you developments now concerning Simon Ekpa, what is going to happen any moment from now. This is just a few days to victory for Simon Ekpa, few days to judgment declaration by the Finnish government. They are trying to make sure that everything is being put in place. We don't know where the pressure is coming on Alexander Stubb, the president of Finland currently now. But what we are seeing clearly is that there are several deals, several negotiations, and that Simon Ekpa has decided not to back out from Biafra agitation. And from the evidence gathered so far, there were no traces of any form of direct involvement in terrorism, money laundering, tax evasion, and all those charges has actually been dropped. But the fear is that the German government and their delegates to Finland, have been barred from any coming closer to anything that has to do with negotiation with the Finnish government, because it looks as if the Finnish government themselves have seen the handwriting on the wall clearly, given what is happening currently in Nigeria. And nobody can come out and say that Simon Ekpa, why he is still kept in incommunicado somewhere in Finland, that killings are still going on everywhere in Nigeria. So I think morally and otherwise, the Finnish government, the Finnish nation, has an independent law of which they can use it on any of the charges that were being brought to. And from what we are gathering, Simon Ekpa has no case to answer in Finland. And that's why a lot of people are hoping that what is going to come out definitely at the end of the day, but just by 1st of September, 2025, the judgment is going to be passed in favor of Simon Ekpa, and is going to be set free completely. But what we are hearing is that Nigeria is not comfortable with that secret leak of how the judgment is going to go, and they have started reorganizing and mobilizing themselves again. And that was triggered what the Chief of Army Staff, Christopher Musa, said recently, that the absence of Simon Ekpa has brought calm in the entire eastern region. But that is absolutely a lie. He's just trying to tell you they are working on another angle, of trying to manipulate the victory that is coming on 1st September, and which will definitely be resisted, because they know that the Finnish government can never, extradite Simon Ekpa back to Nigeria in whatever can, because they do not have a extradition treaty with Finland. Then, secondly, Simon Ekpa's, appearance publicly might trigger another higher tech advanced agitation that Nigeria cannot be able to stand it, and they are afraid that his presence this second time, might just crush anything that has to do with Nigeria identity. A lot of people have been talking about this country called Nigeria. You can see what the reaction coming from Nigerians when a high-profile man of God declared that God is not interested in anything that has to do with Nigeria, and that Nigeria was never the will of God. And when people like Samuel takes up, something like this, a lot of people seem to go against it because, they have already knew that what they are benefiting from the gang up and the oppression and suppression of the Igbo race, and which must be stopped. Finland government must understand this very clearly, that whatever agreement or deal or treaty they are entering with Nigeria has a limit way currently now to Finland. And what are they getting to Finland to make sure that everything about Simon Ekpa is finalized before 1st September, and whether it's going to be on bail or somebody standing in for them. Every modalities in that regard has been worked out. And remember, there was this a global renowned African lawyer, Masanga is also joining them, or has already joined them in Finland. Is a very well-known international lawyer, who handled similar cases for nations, and victory was achieved. I think one of the reasons where the Finland are asking for negotiation, which Samuel Ekpa to an extent has refused anything that will, contravene or contrary to his ideology of Biafran activism, has already been rejected, and that is where the issue is. The Finland cannot put pressure on Samuel Ekpa and of course, to abandon Biafran agitation, which Samuel Ekpa himself has completely refused, and made it very clearly, and it should not be the reason for carrying out injustice against him on 1st September next month, 2025, where everybody is expected him to be released. The reason why we are seeing all these things going from one country to another is just trying to see how he's going to stop the Samuel Ekpa's reappearance, making unnecessary statement, trying to put up a structure that will put pressure on Finland to continue to detain Samuel Ekpa, so that they continue to have their Islamic and jihadist tendencies and ways in Biafran land. But it has come out and said it very clearly, and what Finland government is going to do, and whether they are going to compromise at the end of the day. Even one is watching, and they are bent on understanding the reason why they should actually toe that line. Samuel Ekpa will be released, and the fear of him being released has already continued to destabilize the military hierarchy, the Fulani agenda, the repentant Boko Haram, and the Fulani governors in the Biafran land. They do not know what the successful coming is going to be, and the fear that Mazen Amdekano might likely be released thereafter, is going to shake Nigeria and bring good news to the Biafran agitation globally. But Nigeria must understand this, whether there's going to be any election or not. These two powerful Biafran activists, especially now we are hearing a good news from Finland that Samuel Ekpa will be set free on 1st September 2025. The Abuja Asurok is already preparing for any eventuality or spillover of what is going to result if he is granted bail, if he's set free, or he gets released and freedom. They don't know what he's going to come up with. That now he has faced the reality on ground. His approach, to different issue and Nigerian government, as they see him as a very big trouble for them, because they refuse to say the truth. They refuse to understand the truth. They are manipulating the reality on ground, and they are using federal government structures to see how they are going to stop or destroy Samuel Ekpa. But unfortunately, he has gone there. We have made a fear that he can never be. He has gone there, and hopefully, the good news we are hearing is that everything has been concluded, and on 1st September, that Finland is going to shock Asurok, shock Nigeria, shock Tinubu, shock Christopher Musa, and of course the Northerners themselves, who were jubilating when Simon Ekpa was arrested for interrogation and still being kept in Finnish government custody up to now. Finnish government is ready to suppress Nigeria and damn the consequences of whatever relationship and deal they have entered with Nigeria come September. We'll keep on giving you brief from this moment on this platform, and please always keep a date with us. And we might not be able to furnish so many informations that we have here for one reason or the other, but we're just telling you that you should keep a date with us, and we'll continue to give you the surface report of what is currently going to happen to the self-acclaimed the de facto prime minister of the Afghan government in exile, who is about to shake